So last session we had seen how we can create the dual axis, right? How we can use the dual axis, and yeah, and we started with the joints and relationships. How we can create the joint and relationship. Fine. So now, we have suppose we have many. Suppose we have many. Uh, you know, many tables or many sources, right? We want to integrate the data and to use it, right? To integrate the data, we have to create the joins. Right? Well, then Tableau has two different ways, like to either to join it or create a relationship. And the difference between the join and relationship is join will be always fixed. That means on the key columns, uh, what is the key columns is nothing but the primary key from the primary key will be available in the dimension table and foreign key will be in the fact table, right? So the key columns through the key columns, the tables will be joined together, and which is the fifth join. Means uh, if there is some duplicate value also, that also will be also coming there. And so as like the joins we are creating in SQL and all, so it will be working in same way. And joins will be fixed. Here we have inner join, left outer join, right outer join, full outer join. So whatever we are mentioning here, the same join will be available here. We have seen how we can get this join, how we can get this. Right? So what did we do yesterday? Let's remove this, and we have only this, right? Now we want to go back, right? So to create the join, so if we just want to have the uh, you know if you just want to have the relationship created, so we can just create it and using the noodles. So it is just creating the relationship without doing anything, right? Direct. So this is line, and this line is creating a relationship between the orders and people, and on a common column, right? Region and region. So on this column, it is creating a relationship. Fine. So it is not checking anything else, just those columns, and it is just creating the relationship. And this relationship can be anything, can be left outer join, right outer join, and anything, and it is dynamic. So it will keep on changing based on the record, based on the whatever, based on the tables, right? These will be changing. So also it will also adjust itself whenever we have some duplicate records, right? And so what will happen that it will also aggregate it, auto aggregate it, and it will create. It will just then it will we will be able to use it for joins. Then it will create the joins, and it will not in that case it will not give you any cross join data, right? So there are many benefits of the relationship, right? So check those benefit of the relationship, and here you can see that we have the region here, and I think there should be some column which is related to the people. So postal code, region. Apart from that, we don't have anything else. So ID, sales, profit. Yeah, we don't have anything. Customer ID we have. Okay. People means customer ID, right? And we need to check here also whether we have the customer ID or not. We don't have the customer ID in this case, or it is person name. But here we have the customer ID. Here we have the person name. Let's see what is there in person. So look like we don't have anything in person. We don't have the data. So this percentage. Okay. So, oh, fine. Orders, orders person, these are the relationship. And if we have this earlier relationship created, what was that? So we have the customer name. So customer name and customer ID. So that's fine. If it is customer name, right? And we can have this either the person name and this customer name, then we can join between these two. Right? We just check. I don't think this region is the correct field to join. I don't see this region is the correct field to join. Okay.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think I'm missing some point. I so join will be used whenever there are two data sets or two tables where there's something should be common in between, and then using that something common will bring the third item. Is it that meaning? I'm sorry.
Okay, I think okay. So join is something where we want to, integrate the data from two different tables or two different sources, right? And you have a common item between these two.
Okay.
Common item, common item in same information uh, in order. Suppose in this case, order table and people table. So, common item in order table and people table. In both these tables, you have a common item. So, in that case, you need to, join through that common item both this table. So, this table, join column will be used as a bridge column between these two tables. Okay.
Okay, fine.
Uh,
Let's say we have orders table and people table. There are order, city, and customer name. And in
hmm,
people table as well, we have order, customer name, and city.
hmm.
Then what is the use of it? How we will
So,
like use this
So how
information?
you will connect this? Suppose here in this order and here we have the people, right? So people is nothing but the customer, right?
Yes.
Customer ID or customer name, right? Like that. So and here in the order table also you have the customer ID or people ID, something like that, or name may be different, but should have the same data. Okay.
Okay.
Should have the same data, but name can be different. Here in the customer people we have the people person name, right? Person name. And here in the order table we have the ordered name, the customer name. Let's see. We have the customer name in this case. You can check here that in this table, the customer ID and customer name, right? So customer name and people name are same, both are same,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So now we want to get additional information regarding these people, regarding this person from the person table. Then we have to have the same name, and for the same name we have to get the additional information, right?
Okay. Okay.
Right? Then we have to say like, okay, if it is equal to this, if this name is equal to this here from this table, then get that information. So
Okay.
to get that, we have to create a join, right? And that
Okay.
join is directly we are saying that okay, customer name equal to people. Here whatever we have this uh, customer name equal to customer name or people person, right? And that will then bring all the information regarding the. So we want to get the additional information, regional information from here, right? Additional regional information from here, so we can get from there. Now, as we don't need in this case because everything we have in this same table. Region information we have this in the same table, and customer name we have in the same table. So in this particular case, we don't need it. Okay, we don't need it. But if you want, right, still the customer name and people name is same, so you can join between these two tables and get the information from other table.
Okay, it's something like VLOOKUP,
We look up.
right?
It's
Like
similar,
one
same.
table, one
No,
table has one table has more information. Second table has
ha,
some less information. In second table, we need to bring first table's data. First table.
Generally, second table have dimension. So you
Okay.
know fact and dimension.
No, sir, I don't know.
So fact table, what happens in the fact table? In the fact table, we generally keep all the numeric values or key columns or keys or the date columns. Apart from that, we don't keep any descriptive information. Okay.
Okay, like city, person name,
Ha. So that city, person name, and all, we don't keep it there actually generally. Let me
and
open
what is
this.
it will be called dimension.
Yeah. So let me open this one. Here we can see. Okay. So this is the fact table in between, right? Here you can see. Fact
Okay,
table will have only the key columns. See here the foreign keys. Foreign key one, date key, customer key, store key, product key, right? Sales quantity. So now only key columns and the fact information, that is sales quantity, sales price, sales amount. Then ID, right? Receipt ID, time stamp, right? Any time, then any
Like just
dates and all.
only the numeric values, sir? Are you
Only
referring to
numeric
only?
value.
Okay.
Key columns and the numeric values and the dates and all these things, right? This will in the fact table we will have this. So we may even have one or two dimension information, but we will not have all the information there. Okay. Now, how we are going to bring the dimension information or categorical data? Using the descriptive data, using the dimension table. Here you can see the date key is connected to date table, right? And date table will have all the other information regarding the date, year, month, day, and all the informations will be having in the date table, right? Similarly, customer table. Customer key is there in the fact table, and from the customer table, we can get the gender information, age information, name, address, and many things, right? Regarding the customer, like customer salary, and all these information will be stored in the customer table. And similarly, the other information regarding the product and all. Right? So we have in data warehouse, we will be having our set data stored in this way. Fact table will have all the fact information and dimension table will have the dimension information. Now you have to bring the all the descriptive information and the numeric data. You have to join those two tables. And join is a connection between these two tables, right? And through the common data. So now join will be giving you what the descriptive from the join you will just connect between these two tables. So here it will be primary key. In the date table or dimension table you will have the primary key, and in the fact table you will have the foreign key. What is primary key? Primary key is not null and unique values. So do you understand that? What is primary key?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
it should have the unique value and should not have the null value.
Correct. So primary key should be not null and unique value. And in foreign key, you will have many values. Means duplicate will be available because one, a person or customer can have many transactions on the same day So you can have the same date, right? Same date key, and many transactions they may have done, right? Many transactions, many orders a customer has may have placed. So it may have duplicate. It will have so many duplicate informations or repetitive transactions for the same date, right? Maybe three, four customers have the transactions on the same day, or 1,000 customers has transaction on the same day. So this will be duplicate in this case. But here you will be having only unique values. Per day, you will have one row information, right? Similarly, for product, you will have per product one information in the product dimension, and here you will have the product key repetitively for a customer. And that's why you just need to connect between the product key and the foreign key here, right? And you will get the all the uh, descriptive information from the product table. So you now you got the idea of the fact table and this one.
Yes.
Okay. So even if you have not got the idea, we can just, we have little more data. We can just check. Okay. Here you can see that we have some data which is having and the data is set up like this, similar to this. Okay. In the data warehouse, and it is the same data where Microsoft is providing the AdventureWorks data for learning purpose for SQL Server, or so you don't have any knowledge on the SQL, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, I think.
Like I run SQL queries, but I do not know how to create. I'm going to learn after some
Mm,
time.
mm, yeah. So you can start now itself, right? Self-learning. You can start doing small things. You can just learn
I tried
what is
actually.
joins, what is
I
that.
did.
Yeah, fine. So this is, you can see, this is a fact table, right? And this table has order date, stock date. So this is order table, and you can see that all the key columns are there, and the transactions are there. How many order quantities ordered to that transactions are there. Yeah. So the tables are set up like this only everywhere, and it will not have this 5 or 7 columns. It will be having about 50, 60 columns in the real table, right? So you have to understand that in the real scenarios you will have more than these many columns, right? Let's go to our data. Okay. So on to now, so you have understood, right, how what we are doing here. So this joins we are creating here is the we can create the joins between region here. Okay, that's fine. Even if you are creating the joins between region, so it will just automatically do the so region to region joins, right? What happens in the same region? You will have many people, right? And in order table in the regions you have also many information for the region, right? So many to many relationship will be created in this case, right? If you are having a relationship created, right, and it is by default many to many relationship, so it is doing the aggregation automatically based on whatever we have, whatever data we have, it is just creating the aggregation automatically. So this is not the detail level data, as it is creating the relationship between region and region because of the name, same name, right? It is automatically finding the related fields and creating the joins, right? But we don't want to create the join, we don't want to create the relationship uh, between these two columns because these are mm, uh, these are the higher level information, and we want to do the joins or relationship created on the detail level information. That means foreign key or primary key, even if it is not primary key, but you should have detail level information so that the aggregation happens on the detail level data. Like even if there is something duplicate, so that duplicate information or aggregation should happen on that lower level information. So here we have the customer name, and in the other case we have the people, person, right? Person information. So now you can see the join will happen between customer name and the person information. And also you can apply other information, apply the other, more fine. Let's see. Here you can see performance options, right? Many to many relationship you are creating. So we can either we can have this, if we know about the data, what is cardinality? Do you have any idea what is cardinality?
No, sir.
No, sir. No.
Yeah. Cardinality is it will provide the information how many number of rows from one table is connected to how many number of rows on the second table, right? As I mentioned that the dimension table should have only one row per data. Dimension table should have only one row per unique data. Okay, that's what we keep in the dimension table. And in the fact table, we have many information for the same data, right? So that means we have many information, many rows in the same in the fact table and one row in the dimension table. So in that case, one to many relationship, one row of the dimension table will be connected to many row of the more than one row of the fact table. So that is one to many relationship. If we are saying many to many relationship, what does that mean? It means that many rows of the one table is connected to many rows of the other table. So that means this data is not unique. Also, this is also having repeated transactions or repeated duplicate information in the other case, right? So this may arise in some cases, few cases. So you have to understand what is the relationship between these two tables. When we create the relationship, right? When we create the relationship, these duplicacy will be taken care automatically. What does that mean? That if we have many to many relationship and the joins are happening on the many to many relationship column, right? So whenever we are bringing something in our uh, here you can see whenever we are bringing something in our visualization, right? So how whatever fields we are bringing to the visualization, it based on the data we bring to the visualization, the joins will perform accordingly. Okay, joins will perform accordingly, and based on the requirement of the joins, right? So it is the relationship creation is dynamic in Tableau. Okay, you get more information because as you have less, knowledge on this, so you have to also, practice on this and also have to read more about this, right? So, so that you get, comfortable with the data, with the creation of the relationship and all. So relationship will be automatically adjusted itself based on the data we are placing in the visualizations, right? And here, if you are seeing that this is many to many relationship, so what will happen if we get the duplicate data? It will first aggregate the data. It will create one column, and it will also aggregate the data. It will create one column, and then it will join together, so that there is no cross join happening in the visualizations, right? There should not be any cross join happening in the visualizations, and if cross join is happening, you will see a big number of big amount will be shown in the information. So if you are having cross joins kind of thing, right? So you should always understand whenever you are finding some cross join information, right? You will get a big amount of data, right? And you may also have some other issues. So you have to always check after creating a relationship that what is the difference between if you are creating the relationship using different tables, different fields. What is the difference? You should also try to understand. and how it is behavior, how this is behaving. So you have to understand. So creating this relationship is better than creating the joins in most of the cases, but some of the cases you may need the joins also created, right? So why we are going for relationship, why we are going for joins? So you have to also understand this one. So now we had seen only the relationship creation, right? And how this relationship is created and what is the use of the relationship creation and how we are going to use. So relationship is automatically it is if we are creating the relationship, it is automatically adjusting itself, right, and creating the type of relation type of join during the creation of during the getting of the execution during the execution time, right? Whenever we are putting the data in the in the views, right? So you have to understand that the relationship is dynamic, right? And then we have another thing is called joins. Join is fixed. What does that mean? That let's go to join. We want to create a join, right? So just either you can just double click it, okay, or you can just bring it and just have this, okay. Uh, Below here, you can just keep it there, right? And it should create a join. Okay, it has just changed it. No, go back. Fine. You can just have this, and below here you'll have the creation of the join. So it is very small thing that we have to just check. Okay, no, it is just changed. Fine. What we are just going to do is double click this, right? And you will get this data. Double click, you can just double click the orders information or the primary source of data. This is the primary data, and this is the next one, right? So we have to just double click on that data, whatever we have brought into the view first, right? Into the canvas first. Then you have to join these orders in this case. Now you are just putting it there and creating the join, right? So now you have all the options and you can see that region name is same in the both the table. That's why it is creating a join between the region name. Automatically it is finding out the region name. But see also one thing. See the people may not, many people may not have ordered, right? But they may have registered, but they may not have placed any order, right? This may be true, right?
Yes, sir.
Uh, So in that case, what may have happened? Uh, Many people may not have ordered. So the true, inner joins between this data will give only that information which is common to both. The same people information should be also available in the orders and also in the people. And if we just don't want, and some people may not have registered, and if they have not registered and they have placed orders, right? So that is one case, right, where people may not have registered themselves, but they have placed order without registration. So in that case, what we can have many to we can have a order here, but we may not have a people information here, right? But most of the cases, I think in 100% of the cases, a person who will be placing some order has to register, right? Has to register themselves, then only they will be able to place some order. So in that case, we will have all the people information in the people table, and that same people may not have ordered everything, may not have ordered everything. So we want to get all the order information from the order table and only the related information from the second table, people table, right? Not all the information from the people table. In that case, we can go for the left outer join. So left outer join, what it does includes, and also it gives you the instruction. What it does includes only the values which matches in both the tables in the inner join, right? Left outer join includes all values in left table and all matches from the right table. Members without matches will show up as null on the right table. So in the right table, whatever whoever is there and they have not if they don't have any matches, so even they will be shown in the table. And this for the people information in that in those rows, it will be null values, right? So right outer join, what do you have in the right outer join? Everything from the right table will be shown, and only matching values from the right table will be shown from the left table. Okay, and full auto join, every value will be shown from the left table and also from the right table. So mostly what we will need, right? We will need to get all the data from the transaction table, which is order table, right? And not all the data from the dimension table. We'll always need the all the data from the transaction table and matching data from the dimension table, because dimension table will have all the information available it with the dimension, right? All the data will be available in the dimension table. But in order table, all the data may not be available in the order table, right? Yeah. So that is possible here. And we have just, we will need to create the left outer join, and also we have to change the field. We want to go to we want to use the customer name here and the same customer name. So we want to see here we have these two different tables, because we have created the left outer join. Let's see it is right outer join, right? And you will not find any data here. You can see there is no data, because there is no data common to these two, customer table and region information. So customer name and region name will not be same. That's why you are not seeing any data here, right? If now customer name, and if we are giving the left auto join, what does that mean? All the data from the left table, order table is shown, but you will not find any data from the people table, right? In this case, here you can see all the order name. This means this is the order table, and if you go left, you don't have any data. So this is the people information, right? People table, and you can see from the people table, you don't have any data. It is null, 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 because you don't have any common information. So let's say we are changing this to person. We are changing this to person, and you can see the information now. Okay. So person name and customer name, these are both same, and both of these should be having the data available here. Now what we are seeing here is not the correct information. Okay. So let's go back again and see the data. We should be seeing the Okay, that means you see one or two names we are seeing, right? We are seeing just some name, whichever is matching with these two tables, right? Person information from this table, person table, and person information from the order table. If it is matching, then it is showing. If it is not matching, then it is showing the null value, right? Yeah. So that's what we have in case of this. So mostly we need to join the ID column. Okay, ID column will give us the correct data. Okay, the names and all these columns will always have the foreign ID and the primary key and foreign key. So we should always use the foreign key and primary key for the join, right? Not the other column. So if we have the foreign key and primary key, we should always use those join. Now, if we create a join like this, what does that mean? What does it show? Right? It shows that the join should be right. It shows that this is creating a detail level join, and this is fixed in your data set. It is not like the relationship, right? That relationship will change itself automatically, adjust itself while we create a visualization. but join will be always remaining fixed. Then, in which cases it is useful, the joins, when we have the we want to apply the row level security and all, right? In those cases, those special cases, join will be better. Okay. If we want to show something like, okay, the detail level information, and we want to, aggregate only on detail level data, then we have to go to joins only, right? And for the any other, dynamic and, the aggregation should happen on any level, right? Based on the data availability on the views. So we should always go for the relationship. So relationship is more robust in our cases, because we are going to always have data, aggregated data information in our tables, right? So mostly we'll be trying to get the data, aggregate data, and we'll be creating the different visualizations, right? So in that case, we'll always based on the data, we'll always create you will always get the relationship created, not the join, right? And joins will mostly be, should be created in case of while we are trying to apply some kind of, this data. When we are trying to create trying to use the security, row level security and all these things, right? In these cases, we are going to use the joins. Fine. Let's see. So we are most of the time, we are going to create the relationship, not the joins. And you now know how to create the joins. You now know how to create the relationship, right? And yeah, because relationship is dynamic, and relationship is it will give you more robust information, right? Based on the data. So we are always going to create the relationship. So let's say we want to understand that how many orders are returned, right? We want to know that. So in that case, we have to join this order information and return information, whatever orders are placed, right? And whatever orders were returned. So we want to understand those two. And here you can see that it is not joining, because it is not finding any common column. It is not finding any common column. Oh, okay. No, 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 not like that. What happened? What has happened is we are just, we have to close this window and we have to go back. Right? Now it is creating the noodles, and we can see that it is not finding a common column, right? Because here you can see this common column. What should be common column? Orders table has some columns, and we want to understand the order ID. So order ID, the same order ID will be returned. If it is the order ID here, the same order ID will be returned from here. So order ID returns, right? So it will be returned that item is returned. So now we know that what is the order item which is returned or which is not returned, right? So we have just the connection now, correct connection, and you have to set the correct connection, here. So and also, if you don't know the cardinality, you don't need to, have that set. We don't have to touch even, because it will, when we create a relationship, it is automatically, adjusting itself based on the data available. Fine. Now we know that data is returned, and this data is connected through the order ID. Fine. Yeah. Uh, okay. So that's what we have in the joins and in the relationship creation. And I already mentioned that you have to get the data using this add connection button, right? You should not get the data from using the data source connection here from here, because data source will give you the additional, different data source information, and that you cannot join or connect with the data. That will be creating again blending information, right? So let's create a new data source and have, let's see that how it is working. So we are just creating a new data source with the same information, whatever we had earlier. right? This return, order return. So you can see here, then the new data source will be created with the order return. And in that case, you can see that data is not shown. All the other data sources are not being shown with this, right? Now, how this is being used? This will be used only if you are going to you know, you are going to the sheet. Now you can see that you have order table, order information, you have return information, right? Orders return information, and all these different informations you have. In this case, let's go down. So in this order table, we have the joins created. So it has all the data. You can see this order table has order information, order table data, return table data, and any other table data. It is joined with each other. Two different table in the order connection, but in the returns connection, we have only one data, right? So now that's how you have two different sources. And with these two different sources, now you will see that if I bring some data to this canvas, to the reporting area, bring some data. Maybe we are bringing the data called category. Okay. We want to know the category information which are whichever is returned, whichever product are returned, right? Items are returned. We want to know from which category those items are returned, right? Now, let's say we are bringing the data from other table, from this table. Okay. Now, immediately, whenever we have used this data, right, it is see, you can see a tick mark with the green color, right? That means it says that this is a primary connection. What does it say? That this is a primary connection because we have used choose this first and brought this data into the reporting area. So this is the primary connection. Now we are choosing the another data source, second data source, and we are bringing the information. We are bringing the data from the other data source, right? Let's say we are bringing this count, returns count. Okay, how many data are returned? So we are just closing here, and you can see that what happened. It is giving me cross join. It is giving me cross join. So 1173, 1173, 1173, and fields cannot be used from returns data source because there is no relationship to the primary data source. So there is no relationship between the primary data source and return data source, right? And click at least one link icon to blend this data source. And in this case, we need to create the blending, right? Because we are using two different data source and there is no connection between these data source. So we have to use a blending. We have to use a connection method called blending. Right? Now, do you know what is blending? Have you do you have any idea of the blending? Have you ever heard the name of blending?
No, sir.
No. So now you should understand what is blending. Blending is, you know, creating a connection between two different sources. If we are getting the data in a visualization between from two different sources which are unconnected, we need to make a connection. That connection is called blending, right? Between two different sources. Suppose the same data, right? Same data, we are getting again from the return table, we are getting the return data. Okay. Now returns count from here. So you will be able to see that we are able to get the here we are able to get the data and it is correct, right? You can see that this data is correct, right? Because this returns information, return table and the order table is connected. These are having the relationship. That's why it is having 390, 788, and 397. All together, these are 1100. 73. This would be more than that, even more than that. All these connections will be having even more than that. So now we just need to get that, information, get those data, right? How many total information is there? So we have to get the connection. So how we can get this? We have to go back to our second source and create a connection between the order ID. In the returns table, we have a connection. We have to connect it through return ID, order ID, right? We are just enabling this connection, return ID, right? Now you can see all the data are same. This is 390, 390, 788, 788, 397, 397, right? Have you got the, have you got the now the difference between what is the connection we have created here? This connection is called blending,
Yes.
right? This connection is called blending. And you have to make this connection between these two tables. Like, okay, primary source will have always this green tick mark, and secondary source will have the yellow tick mark, right? These are the secondary. If you have any more source of data, you can also see. Let's see, we are getting the people connection, customer connection, right? We are getting a new connection called customer connection, new data source. Okay. Uh, in that case, we are just going to have a new connection called customer data. So we have now this connection, and let's go and we'll find a new thing here. Okay. So in the join condition, so this is a new connection, and you can see a new data source has been shown here, right? So this is a new data source. There is no connection because we have not brought in any information here into the table. We have not brought in any data. So let's see, we want to bring the region information, right, from here, and we want to put that region information in the row. So we are having the region information in the row, right? Now, it's still, okay, the connection is already done, made. You can see the connection is made. Suppose we are not having the connection. So what is happening? Let's say we are just removing the connection, right? So what is happening here? You can see, fine. So if we are just removing the connection, that means it is not having a proper connection, and the data is not shown properly because it doesn't know which person is connected to which of the category data, right? It doesn't know because there is no relationship created, right? And to create a relationship, we just need to enable the blending, yeah, linking field, right? Use the region field as the linking field. So you can just use the region field as the linking field. So now the regions and all these things are now, connected. Fine. You have all this data and connection. So how this works, right? What is this blending? What does this blending do? So in blending, the blending is useful in many cases, and we will see a proper use case also in the later session. So for now, you just need to understand what we have just done in the blending, what we have just done in the in case of joins, and what is the relationship. You just need to understand these three concepts. Fine. Okay. And also you get also more knowledge just by reading the articles or reading different documents, right? And that will give you broader idea of what it is doing. I am just giving you, I'm just feeding this information into your mind so that you can understand better, and you can search the related information, and you can understand better. And this is very much needed, this concept, joins, relationship, and blending, right? This is very important concept in case of Power BI, or in case of Tableau, or in case of any other tool, right? In other tools, we just have this join condition, but we don't have this concept called relationship and blending. But here we have the concept called relationship and all these things, right? And here we have to be, very sure, like when, in which condition, what kind of data we are going to use, right? Whether we are going to use the joins, whether we are going to use the blending, whether we are going to use the relationship. So we will also see the same concept, what is blending, because joins and relationships should be clear now, right? Only blending data, what is happening, how the data is, shown and connection is made, right? We'll also discuss this again later. I am just feeding you this information beforehand. Okay. Now,
Okay.
let's get this right. We have got our data. We have got the data from different tables, right? Different sources, and we have already joined our data into one table, and this is this table, right? All the informations are joined in this table. So the table information and the table data, ordered data, and the other data. And on top of this order, on top of this joined data, we have also the extra data sources which can be blended, right? And we have blended in this case, right? Let's go to again the data source, and we want to bring the also the customer information as a join, right? So double click this, and you will find that already a join is created here, right? So this is already having a join information, and we want to bring the also the this customer information, this customer data, people data. So this is also created in people information, and this is based on the join is created based on the not the inner join. We want to have the left outer join, all the related information, and based on the customer name. Okay. I think here in this case, let's see if we just have the join between the using the regions, we are getting more information maybe. Let's see whether we have the okay. In this case, we are getting only all the other information. Well, here person is Kelly Williams, right? So we should have the same person in the other case, Kelly Williams, person, customer name. It is different. Rick Hansen, right? That means this customer is not connected properly because we are connecting through the region and regional information is there. So we don't have the customer connection properly. We have to have the customer based on the customer information, customer name. We have to do the join. We have to perform the join based on the customer name, person information. Now this will give you the correct information on the uh, customer. So now we have the Rick Hansen, and the same customer should be also shown here in this case. Let's go and down and check the other information where we have the data. So this is Anthony Jacobs, right? Let's see that the same customer information should be there in the order table, Anthony Jacobs, right? So now we know what are the customer information available here. So not all the customer information are available in the people table. That's why we are not seeing all the information. So we are getting this order table using the left order guide, right? So yeah, that's fine. We have just got it here. And apart from that, orders is made of two tables, right? Now it is made of two tables orders and this global stores, superstore orders, and then we have this, right? We have this one, okay, fine. We have this people table. And same on the order return information. We just need to have the join, and this join will be created automatically. So already it seems there is somewhere, okay, we had created a relationship, that's why it is not shown here, okay. So relationship is similar to again the joins, but it is having more dynamic information. So we don't want this join created here because we already have created a relationship. So now you can understand that we have created three different things. One is the relationship, one is the joins, and another thing is the blending. So all these we have in the same information here. Now you go back and you will see a orders and returns are in the relationship, and in the orders we have the orders and people are in the joins, right? And you go to the sheet, and in this sheet you will find that the other now you have also the go to this, right? Now you have also the returns information, you have the joins information, and you have the orders information, and you have the join information. One more difference you need to understand about the this orders and the return order and the people information, right? So here you can see order and the people information. So you don't see the people table name. You are just seeing the return table name and the order table name. Do you see the people table name? No, right?
No, no.
So you cannot see the people table name. So what does that mean? If you are joining something, if you are creating a join, all the columns will be brought into the same table, under the same table. So you can see under the order table, all the people column also are brought in the under the same table, order table, right? It is not creating a new other table name because we have created joins, and only in case of relationship it will intact the table and their information separately. If we create a relationship, it will interact the table and the table name and the related information, related column information separately. But if we are creating joins, it will get all the information into the primary table, right? Primary under the primary table name orders. So this is the primary table, right? And we have this region people. So this region people is coming from the people table, right? And then also we have the customer people person, right? This person is coming from the person table, right? So we have just know we are now we know that this table, right? Order table has two informations. One is from the order table, another is from the person table. And all the dimensions are shown in the same dimension pane, and all the fact information are shown on the same fact table, right? And only one count information is created here. Only orders count, right? There is no separate count. Here in this case, you can see you are also creating the return count for the return table. And okay, let's go back to this data source and let's create the relationship between the table. So we have also created a okay join between these two tables. Now the same table we want to create a relationship also here. Okay. So with the customer table, we want to create a relationship. Let's create a relationship. Okay. So we are just creating a relationship, and here in this case, order table and people one table, right? We are naming it people one, right? And it is connected through the customer name, and also here we have the uh, person name, right? So now these two tables are connected together, fine, and these two tables are connected together using what? Using the relationship here we have. So let's say we don't want to change this relationship information. Let's say it is many to many only. Okay. Let's say it is many until you know that what kind of cardinality is that, you don't change anything, right? It will take care of that. But this field name you have to properly set so that you get the correct data. Now you can go and check in the visuals. Let's go to the view. Okay. Now you are in the view, and now you can see a people table is also created because we have created a relationship, right? And so what relationship does? Relationship is giving us the connection between the two tables or more than two tables. Also, it is preserving the original table names and their related fields, right? It is giving us the capability to bring all of this data and use as a connection, use as a connected data, and also it is preserving its own data, its own columns. Fine. This is what relationship is giving. And in case of joins, it is not preserving the all the different columns, and it is getting all the dimensions in the dimension under the same table, right? And all the fact information under the same table, right? So that's how this relationship and joins work. So you have to understand these two differences between the joins and relationship. Also, the cases where while we use the joins and relationship, how it behaves. Fine. Okay. Now, do you have any question on this?
No, sir, not as of now.
Yeah, I think but it is a complex, thing, and you are very new to this, right? So you need to also do some more practice on this, and you have to also understand a little bit more about this. Right? You get this data and try out different things and use it in the different visualizations and table creation. So now next
Yes.
thing we are going to do is the table. How we are going to get the table text table information. Okay. Now we have got the data, we have joined the data from two, three different sources, five different sources, or 10 different sources, right? We can join the data using this joins, using the joins and the relationship of blending, right? Now we want to also show this data in the visualization. How do we show that? Okay, how do we use that? Fine. So yeah, let's use this and have a, we want to create a text table. We want to show the information as a text table. So when do we use the text tables? If you want to show some detailed information on the, if you want to show something, some detailed information in our views, right? In that case, we are going to use the text table. Fine. So we have the visualizations, we have the charts, we have any other things, right? And then we are going to use this, tables to show all the information, related informations in the tabular format, right? So that's where we'll be using the tables, text tables and all. Now, let's say how this text table works. What do we have in the text table? We have the rows and columns, right? That's that's what we will be having in the text table. So let's say we want to, see the information regarding the, regarding our orders in different countries. So to see the information in different countries, what do we need to do? We are just going to place the country name in the rows, right? Now, we want to see the different information, right? Or order information, total number of orders or total value of total revenue generated from there. So revenue is nothing but here the sales, right? And total orders is nothing but the quantities, right? What is the profit we have got this, right? So we want to see all these informations in a tabular format, right? In a text table. So what do we need to do? Either we can just, and we had also already seen this major names and major values, right, before. This is actually a table data. This is text table information, right? And the same thing we are just going to use here is the major names and major values we need to use, right? So major names we have to use in the columns if you want to show the major values, right? And then you have to use the major values in the text. Fine. Now you can see this is giving us the text table, text information. Now you can have these major values also, to the filters. Okay. Now you can just have only the related information, whatever we want. and not the all the other information. Okay, we want to unwanted of our visual. So now we have, and we you can also even do the swapping of these orders. First, we want to maybe we want to have the sales information. So you just bring it on the top. So bring it on the top, right? And then you can see that then we have the quantity information, right? Selling and then quantity information. So then we have this shipping cost, right? Then we have the discount. Then we have the profit, right? Then we have the discount, then we have the profit, right? So let's say we are just arranging information, and how do we do that? We have to arrange these columns, different information here on the major values. Under the major values, we have to do the arrangement, right? Now we are having this country, and we want to also sort this data. Right? How do we sort this data? We can just go to these major names, right? And you can here you can just click here, right? Arrow down button, and here you have the option to sort the data. And how to sort the data? You may want to sort this data manually, or you may want to sort the data based on the data source order, right? You can sort it based on the data source order. So it is already sorted based on the data source order. You want to sort it based on the alphabetical order, right? So it is already now it is sorting on the alphabetical order. So manually you want to sort it. So you want to sort it based on the sales, right? Or profit, you want to see where we got the most of the profit, where we got the less of the profit. So from top to bottom approach, using this sales data, right? You want to do the okay, you want to do this sorting based on sales, right? So let's go up and just have this sales information. And based on the sales, we are just major names based on the sales profit. That you have to do the sorting. So in this case, here I think it is not properly applied on the sorting. So we want to apply the sorting based on the field. Oh, this is the sort of the fields, right? Uh, we want to apply not like this. Right? This data is not properly sorted. So here what we have there, we want to apply the sorting. So this is having the ascending order of sort country, ascending by majors values, right? We want to sort the country based on the major value. So based on the which major value, right? Based on the sales and all these things, right? So I think this is nothing but the based on the profit information. Based on the profit, no, not based on the profit. Based on something it has just okay. I think based on all the different values, it is just sorting it. So let's go and check the country information. These are the major values. We are just sorting it. Major values. We want to sort. Okay, we don't want to sort that. We want to also sort this country, and we have this country sorting, and we want to sort this country based on the field. Based on a field which is named as the maybe we want to do it based on profit or based on the shipping cost or quantity or based on let's say profit, right? Now you can see this is properly sorted based on profit. Okay, uh, from negative to positive, right? So that's how you will be sorting it, and you can also sort it positive to negative, right? Let's say it is having high to low. Now you will be able to show this is high to low. Okay, still it is not correctly done. Let's go back and check the sorting, and we have to sort it with descending order. So let's go back and sort the descending order and select here the field called uh, the profit. Now we know the most of the where from where we are getting most of the profit. Right? So let's see here we are getting most of the profit from which place, right? So now we know that okay most of the profit we are getting from United States, then China, then India, like then United Kingdom. So we are having this order of the profit and what is sales order and all these things, how these are related. We are just getting. So this is a text table, right? You can format this text table a similar way we did before all the other charts, right? Just right click on the data item you want to format. So what you want to do, maybe this country, right? Axis. So you want to format it. What you can just do, right click over it, right? Go to format, fine. And here you are seeing this field, either this is field, you can select the field as country, right? Country field is selected, right? This is one field. And you want to change the font, right? You can change the font, different font, or you want to change this, you want to keep it as it is, or blue, okay, let's make it blue, right? Or dark blue. We want to have the more data, and we want to have it as dark blue. Maybe this is the same color we have, or we want to have it different blue, maybe dark blue, okay, something different. Okay, let's say this color we just have applied, and we now also the numbers, right? Here we can see that alignment we have on the horizontal alignment is the right direction. Then we can also have this, middle and also this one. So you it depends on you, right? Again, and direction is this, right? We can have this. The other direction, right? But this is not required. This is the way we want to just do. So whatever changes we want to do, also we can have this wrap on. If you have this smaller, suppose this column is smaller. Let's say we are just having this column here. This is the boundary of this column, and we want to decrease the size. So now, in this case, it should wrap, right? It should get the data in the second column. So we should go for the wrapping in that case on. If we just have this wrapping on, right? It should show the data on that case, uh, on the separate column. So it has not shown this data on the separate, wrapping on the detailed information. So yeah, wrapping off and wrapping on. Uh, so it is not showing the data. Vertical is this fine, and wrapping is not working on this case. Right? So, but wrapping will be working on many of the other cases. Right? Here we are not seeing this visible, and it is not creating a second column. So that's fine. We have also the shading areas and all these things, right? Maybe we want to shade the alternate numbers, right? We can just have the shading information. Like don't want to have any shades, and we can just go for the, we don't want to have any shade, and we can just have the white color. Right. So what did we have here just now? The default on the default values, how we can shade and what you can show. So you can even shade with the lighter color, and so that you can identify. Okay, these are alternate columns. Now you have the totals information, right? Total values. Here we have the same again. We want to change this, under the total. We can change it to some other color. Right? And where is the total information available? Totals will be at the bottom. Totals will be at the bottom of this, all of this. So if we have the total information available, so here we have not included the total, right? We may include the total data, and totals we have to just show the grand totals and show the column totals, show the grand total. How do we show the grand totals and how do we show the column totals? Go to analysis, right? And under the totals, you just enable this show grand total, right? And now you'll see that here in this, okay, uh, grand total is not shown. Analysis, totals, show grand total, show column totals. Uh, Now it is showing also the column totals, and Okay, now the column totals is showing the grand total. Grand total is showing. These are the column total, and you have to go back and to include this totals for the rows. Okay, row totals to left, column totals to top. You can show the column totals on the top, right? You can see that column totals on the top. You can show it, fine. And yeah, that is also you can do. And let also you will be able to use this rows total on the left. Rows total on the left. You can see this is the row total, grand total on the okay. This is the column total, and row total you are not seeing here, maybe because of okay. Row totals are to left. So row totals are not shown because we are having three, four different columns information, different sources of data. Okay, different kind of data we have, right? Different columns we have. That's why we are not seeing the row total. If we just create, suppose in this case, right, we just have one data. We don't have all the different. We have only sales data. Let's get this data. Okay, uh, let's get this data, edit filter, and we just have the sales information. Let's say we are just having the sales information. Right? And now what we want to also row total. This is the grand total. We also want to have a different column, which is let's get a column and which this column is for this is different country and these are the cells. Let's say category column. So category column, different kind of product, different category sold in different country. So we are just having this data, different product sold in different country, right? So this is the total. Now you can see a total is applied here, right? This is the total and top a total is applied. So you have to understand this also how it works. Let's say we are not having on the total on the left, but we are having on the right, right? So now you are seeing that a sales total is on the left and sales total is on the top, right? And why it is giving us sales total on the left? Because it is the same data. This is the same data. We are just distributing this data for different category, right? For different category for the same country what is the total sales in different country, right? For furniture, what is the sales of furniture in different country? What is the sales of the office supplies in United States? What is the sales of technology in United States? So all these are distributed for different category and total is this, right? That's what we were that's why we have now the total on the left and total on the top. Okay, so you got this, is it clear?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So earlier, why didn't we get the total? Because we had the different column, different
Different,
amount
right.
information. We have the same column, same data, same information, but distributed for different category. That's why we are able to also create the total on the left and total on the top or total at the bottom, right? And this is how you are going to create your text table. So apart from this, right, you can have many other changes, right? You can change this color, font, and all. And in the text tables, we don't have much thing to do, right? We don't have much thing to do, and so that's why text table is not being used because it is just raw data kind of thing, right? It is giving us the detailed information, and we will not be directly but just by seeing this data, we will not be able to get any insight directly from this data, right? In that case, we need to use this text table information with the color coded data. That means with the conditionally formatting data, right? We have to based on the here we have the different counts, different numbers. We don't know which is the highest number, right? To get the highest number, even if we scroll down and up, right, and check the data, we will not be able to find the highest sales. We will not be able to find the lowest sales directly. And there are so many information. And also we may have some criteria, right, between this to this. the data should be this, and between this to that, the data should be that. So we may have some such kind of criteria also. So we will not know what is how the data is there present in the table. Fine. For that reason, we need the highlight table. Okay, where we will be able to highlight this data and with proper color coding and all, so that we can easily get the information, easily get the data properly. Okay? So now we let's see the highlight table. Okay. You have any question on the text table? I think it should be pretty clear. That's
This
there
is this was
nothing
easy
much.
compared to joins and relations. This is was easy.
Yeah. So yeah, but text table is not that informative. You will not be able to find the information what we are going to what
Yes.
we are trying to get, because it will give you the detailed information, right? And we would like to get information. That means we like to get some insight and some trends and all these things using our data. So that's what we want to get using the other tables. Let's check. We have the highlight tables here, right? How this text table can be converted to the highlight table. Okay. So highlight tables is what we have this data, right? Category. Let's say we are just creating a table, right? We have this table and we have this, maybe sales information. Okay. We have this sales information. So this sales information on the text. Now, this is just one column, so this is fine. We are able to get it properly. Let's say we want to also understand, analyze the data based on the different quarter of data or different yearly information. We want to check for the same data. We want to distribute to the year, the sales, uh, how much from this different category for different year, right? So we are just going to use the order date in the columns. Now we are getting some more data. Fine. Let's say we are also increasing our this row information. We are going for the even we are going for this market or segment of data or yeah. So here this is fine. That segment of data or the mode of ship, this one. Okay. Let's say subcategory of data. So we are just going to get the subcategory of data, right? Now we have some more informations, right? And we are having the categorical data and then subcategorical data and all of these things, right? Here, fine. Let's say we just have this data, we have got information, and now what we want to do is we want to get this thing highlighted where we have the more data, where we have the less data. So here you can see that each of these, this is called a pane. Here you can see all of this data. This is called a pane. Okay, and each of these cells are called cells, right? Each of these are called cells, and this entire thing is called table. This entire data is called table, right? So now you should understand that these are panes. Okay, from here to here, these are panes, and these are all cells. Each of these items are cells, and entire table is called table. Okay. So this is what we have in the, these are tables, cells, and these information. We have got this now. Now we want to highlight this data. What we can do, sales information, we can highlight so many way. We can highlight this data with this sales information. Let's say sales are, we have this sales data from low to high, right? From low to high, this data we can put in the columns, right? So what does it doing? It's now creating a uh, color, right? It's now creating a color, same color information, and you can just go and you can see that we have this. We can just edit the color, right? And these colors are called, you have the continuous gradient of color, right? This is the gradient of color from the lowest intensity to highest intensity, right? You can have this color also in, using this step. Using step also you can just have this color. You can see that this is also applied using the step. Right. Now, what is the highlight table? With this color, right? With this color, we are also applying the squares. So this is called highlight table. Fine. What do we have now? How the highlight table is created? We are just getting this data first as a table. Then we are applying the color on that measures. Then we are also changing the marks to the square, right? And that way it is creating a highlight table. Now the more intensity, the wherever we have the color intensity, more color intensity, that is the highest value, right? Most color intensity, highest value, and less color intensity, lowest value. Right? This is stepwise. We have just done. We can change it to now. We can change it to the colors. We can change it to without steps, and we can just see. Here we can see all the data are colored. Fine. So, do you have any question on this on the highlight table?
No, sir, no question.
So yeah, the same highlight table you will be also able to create using the show me. Okay. Here you have this in this show me, you have the table. You have the text table, you have the highlight table here. See, this is the highlight table. If you click this, it will create the highlight table, same table. Now it is not changing because we have already created the highlight table using the color combination, the text and or row and column. So the same data, suppose we don't have the color, right? Suppose we don't have the color, right? And suppose we don't have even this, right? We have just automatic, right? Now we want to create a highlight table. Just you go here, go under show me and just click on this. So it will create a highlight table for you, right? So that's what the highlight table is, and we can easily create the highlight table with the data item and with the show me table. Fine. Now, and when highlight table is more important, if we have the data right and available, and we want to get these data, highlighted based on the increasing order, decreasing order, and we want to know the more sales, less sales, and how these sales are happening. So, bigger values, smaller values, right? Using this highlight table, we can just get those information easily. Now we are knowing that okay, these lighter shades are having medium values. These more intense values intensities are having higher values, and these are having the lowest values. So we will be now easily categorize this data, but just by seeing this. Otherwise, in kind of text table, right, it is hard to use this information. How to check which is highest, which is lowest, and all these things. Right? Okay. Now, the next thing is the let's say the heat map. So, what is heat map? Right? In the heat map, what do we show is we are just showing the values as the size of the square, as the size of the square, and we don't show the value, you know, labels. We don't show the numbers or values, right? We are just showing the square and widget size associated to the value, right? Let's say what I'm saying is, let's get this category information, and you can try even different okay thing. I am just trying this category because it's a smaller value and it will be easy for you to understand, right? Once you are comfortable, you can go for the other values and check all the other information. Now we want to get the sales data. Okay, so we have this now. We have the sales data in the text. Fine. Suppose we don't have the sales data in the text. We get this data into the just this size. We just get this data into the size, right? So now we don't have data in the text and we just have this data in the size, right? This is what is the highlight table. Now we can also associate this size or this sum of cells with the color so that we can get the different color for different data. Now we have got different color, right? So we have associated the data with the color, numbers or cells with the color. We have associated the numbers or cells with the size. Now also we want to use the squares, right? So you can see that we have also used the squares. We can increase the size and just click on the size and we can increase size. So now we are getting the more in a perfect way. Now this same data we want to do some more detailed information we want to see. Suppose we want to see the same data for different maybe subcategory data. We want to see. Let's get the subcategory data or different market data. Let's say we are just having the different market. Okay, on the different market, we are selling these products. So different category we have product we have. Now we know that okay, in the different market, what are the tables, what are the data, and how this data is shown. Okay, so based on the size of these and based on the intensity of these colors, so we know that the more darker color and bigger size will have the highest value, right? Just by seeing the squares, we are now getting the value information, right? Only, okay, this is having more cells in EU, we have more cells in APAC, we have more cells, right? But in other countries, we have less cells, right? That's what we are making out from here. Now, we want to also see the same information for different year, right? Now you can see that this same data is now distributed for different years, right? Let's say we want to also see the quarter information. So we can see the quarter differently, year and quarter information and how this sales has happened on different quarter and year and the market, we are able to see it here. Right? The same data, we want to, okay, we have created the, this table heat maps using the size and the color, right? And same thing we will be able to also create using directly just clicking on this heat map table. Right? You can see that heat map table we have just created and it is giving me the same information, right? Same information it is giving me, but in the compressed form. Let's say we just want to have this now. Okay, this way because the APAC region and all these things are gone up. Okay, that's why it is showing in this way, right? We want to suppose we want to have this market and the role, so we'll be showing this data in this way. Fine. Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. What we are just going to do is we are just going to have this event on APAC, and we are just going to have. uh, Okay, I want to decrease the size of this. To decrease the size of this. So it looks like I'm not able to do it from here. Okay, from top I have to just do it. And this is a little bit. Okay. So it is just increasing the size of that and we are just hanging it. So we don't want to increase this size. We are just having the categories on that and we can just increase this size. So this way we will be able to just show the different data properly, right? And also this, we want to also decrease this size and we want to also do we are not able to. Okay, let's make it fit height. Okay, let's make it fit height. So now we have just fit the height and all this is, or we can make it fit width, right? And we can just see that this is the fit width. Okay, or we can just make it entire view. Right? Now it is entire view. Now all the data items are shown in the same view. Right? So we can just have this changes or standard. Now it is the standard view. That's what we just have this. These are called the uh, now this is called the highlight heat maps, right? And that's what we have seen, heat maps. Yeah. Fine. So now you know the what is heat map, and heat map is nothing but the we are showing the data in squares. Size of the squares will say the amount of the data, and we can also associate some colors, some kind of colors and all. So that is also possible. But yeah, so that's what we have, and same size, same data we want to have also color. So you can just put the color on the data, and you can just have this shown. So this way also you will be able to show. That's what we have on the heat map. Do you have any question?
No, sir, no question.
Okay. Definitely, you have to do some more work on this to get it
Yes.
correctly, right? Yeah, fine. But
So
we are seeing.
you will be sharing any documents, sir? In a sense, like any files or something
Yeah, yeah, I
to
will be sharing
practice.
all these files. I'll be sharing these files, whatever we are having there. Okay. The same files I'll be sharing. I think, yeah, I need to also get your ID, email ID. That's what I was thinking, that I have not got your email ID yet. So I will be sharing this through Google Drive. Okay.
Okay,
And the
fine, sir.
data and these files
Sure, sir.
together.
And
Together.
do you have any kind of like interview questions available? What are the things they may ask in related to Tableau, sir?
Actually, yeah, I have not supported interview things before, and also, and I have no plan of this thing. So because it takes even sometimes I have to do some more research on this. So yeah,
Okay.
and for now I am not doing, but I am providing one questions. Maybe sometime I'm providing a questions, interview questions, one two questions, right? In the groups. So yeah, that will also help because those are the interview questions which are being asked, right? So those I will be providing regularly. Okay.
Okay, fine.
But a proper, interview training or proper interview questions, right? That I am not doing in a religious way or particular technically. We are not doing anything such. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
But you can always go to the discussion forum, Tableau discussion forum, and from there you can find out the questions asked by different people for work related things. So those are the questions mostly you will get, in your interviews. Uh, and go and check the Tableau forum. So Tableau forum will always have the questions which is work related, which we are facing during our work. Okay. So those questions will be asked most.
So
Fine.
can you
Okay,
show once how to go on Tableau forum?
Yeah, you can just always even search for the Tableau forum, right? You can search for the Tableau discussion forum, Tableau discussion forum, discussion forum, and you can just check, right? So in the community.tableau.com, that you can go to see and check all the questions, whatever people are asking. And those are mostly all the work related questions. Let's see.
Installed we have on desktop, it will be expired in I think 6 to 7 days. So we
That's
can
fine.
like just uninstall and reinstall with new ID.
Correct, correct. You can, but with, you have to use it with the different uh,
Email
ID,
address.
email addresses. Right? So Tableau desktop questions and all these questions, right? You have these questions, and people are asking some questions in the groups, ideas, forums. Right? So you have the answers, based answers, questions, and all these things. Right? Yeah. So how to group category wise category. So you can see all these are work related information, right? So you have so many
okay,
questions in the Tableau forum, and also you will be able to get the different informations, also the sheets from people. Okay, so there are so many things you have available in these forums, and these questions are all interview. These are the questions which are mostly asked in the interviews. Fine. Because these are work related questions, and you need the work related questions. Whatever you will show in your report, whatever project you will be showing, you have to get your question related to that project. Okay. And also you have to have a broader issues based questions, what issue you have faced and all the things, right? So and you will get all these questions from here. Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Just try to check all of these questions here and one by one. You don't go for the entire all the so whatever we are covering, just try to get all the questions from that and check those, and yeah, cover that one by one. That will help. Fine.
Sir, is there
Okay.
any website where we can like practice some small projects and dashboard, like they have present given project sample or dashboard sample there, then just try to copy and like draw the same kind of dashboard.
You have the Tableau online, right? You can go to Tableau online and you can check their different projects are there available, right? Go to Tableau online and there you will find
Because
the more.
mostly 90% all the corporates just they are looking for dashboard creations.
Correct, correct, correct. So they will be always looking for the dashboard creations, right? So you have to always you have to go for the Tableau online, right? You just
Okay.
check Tableau online and you can Tableau online and there you will find a lot of dashboards available. Okay, online.tableau.com or Tableau. Okay, which is free.
Yeah, with the
Or
same ID we can log in the
yeah,
ID which
you
we
can use the
get.
same ID or you can
I
even
tried that.
Tableau Public, you can go Tableau Public because Tableau Online may not be available. Tableau on Tableau Online you will have only related information whatever you have. So Tableau Public you can go where everyone has uh, given their provided their solution. So Tableau Public. So you can go to Tableau Public and you will find able you will be able to find the different you know data. So here you can just sign up and you can see that you will find so many resources in the Tableau Public.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay.
So many data, sample data you'll have, and you'll have learning things, right? And you have data sets. So many things. See the different data sets you are having here, or its most, and all these data sets you are having, right? So there are so many, you have so many things here available, and community resources you have, right? What are the different community
Yes.
resources? So many things you are having, like Tableau community forum, and then you have the Tableau blogs, community projects, right? Uh,
And
so
are we
many
going
things.
to prepare some dashboards?
Yeah, yeah, we'll be at the end, right? Now we are just seeing everything particular, visualizations and all. But at the end of this course, right, we'll be creating the dashboards, right? Because we are using Tableau for creating dashboard only, right? So this whatever charts we are creating, this is
It will
to
be a
create
small
a
part of
dashboard.
dashboard. Yeah.
Yeah, this is to create a dashboard. All these different charts we are creating for creating a dashboard to design a dashboard, right? And that's what we are doing here. So all the
And by
related
end, we'll be
information,
getting certification as well as right
where
from this training course. Are we
I
getting any
think
cert?
TechNext Academy may provide. Yeah, we have to ask. We have to see this
Tanvir.
information. Tanvir, yeah, you can ask that from Tanvir
Okay.
whether certification will be provided or not. Yeah, fine.
Oh,
So yeah, we have these heat maps we have just seen, and then we have the field maps, right? What is field maps and what is choropleth maps, right? So these are the map to show the geographical data, right? Geographies like country, city, and all these things, right? So if you have some geography information in your data set, fine. If you have some geography information in your data set, so you will be able to show it in a map, geography data in a map. So country data, maybe we want to show the country information in our map. So just bring this right into the field map, into the area, right? Work area or the reporting area. So it will see based on the data, it will automatically create a map. It is automatically creating a map. Why? Because it is finding this data related to the geography, and it is also finding it is automatically creating the longitude and latitude for that geography information. That means for these countries, It is already creating a latitude and longitude. Fine. And this is creating uh, this is actually bubble map, symbol maps. So this is not the full map. This is the bubble map or symbol map. We can say this is bubble map. Okay. Or we can also name it as symbol map. Fine. So symbol map we are just having. And what does it do? It is associating this bubble with the, you know, with some measures. These bubbles, it will associate with the measures, and it will show for the different, so for some particular country or some particular geography, it will show that major information. So here we have the country as the detail level data. So we are plotting all the country latitude and longitude. Based on the latitude and longitude, we are plotting a point in all the for all the countries, right? We are plotting a
Okay.
point for all the countries based on the latitude and longitude. And longitude is on the columns and latitude on the rows. What happens if we just change this latitude here and longitude on the columns? So what you are seeing, it is not giving the correct information, right? It is not giving us the map. So let's just click on this map. So you can see that longitude should be on the column and latitude should be on the rows. So latitude is from west. This uh, latitude is from the east to west, and longitude is from the north to south, right? So that's what we have here.
Okay, sir.
Now, this is the bubble map, right? We are just seeing and attaching the sales information and all this information with the size. So you will be able to show the numbers on the map. Now you are seeing which country is having more sales, and which country is having less sales. So that's what we are going to see in the next session, right? How these bubble maps, symbol maps work, and what is this choropleth maps, right? We will see in the next session, which is on next Saturday. Fine. Yeah. So do you have any question till now?
No, sir. No.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
Yeah. And I would suggest, like, okay, you can go visit these, different different charts and all different projects from these Tableau communities, and you can get the different information there, right? All the whatever dashboard you want to check, you can go and check here. You can see the different dashboards created by people, and also you will be able to create your own and share that, and also the questions you will be able to get from here, right? In the Tableau desktop community, we can get the different questions, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's all we have this for this session. Thank you for joining this session, and we'll meet on next Saturday.
Thank you, sir. Sir, I will drop an
Thank
email.
you, sir.
Could you email the uh, study material?
Ha 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 ha.
I will.
So,
We can put.
so I will just ask you for the your ID, and we'll share that on the G Drive. Okay. Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay then. Bye.
Thank you.